The streets of Buenos Aires vibrate with the echo of a bouncing ball. It is a rhythm that has defined the nation for over a century. In 1978, that rhythm reached a crescendo as the World Cup began on home soil. Players stepped onto the pitch, the weight of millions pressing against their shoulders. They faced the Netherlands in a final that demanded everything. The whistle blew, the match extended, and with that final strike, football transformed from a simple game into the core of the national identity. The trophy rose and the streets erupted. A few years later, a player named Diego Maradona stepped into the spotlight. In 1986, he took the field in Mexico. He moved with impossible precision, dancing past defenders and launching the ball into the net with a force that defied logic. He carried the team to their second title, becoming a living symbol of creative genius and defiance. The ball hit the grass, the crowd roared, and for a generation, the world was theirs. The foundation of glory was laid, etched into the history of the sport forever. But the roar eventually faded into decades of silence. Year after year, the team reached finals, only to leave the pitch in tears. The pressure mounted, and the dream of a third star seemed to drift further away with each missed opportunity. Then came Lionel Messi. He rose from the pitches of Rosario to the global stage, shattering records and collecting club titles with ease. Yet, the World Cup remained an unreachable ghost. In 2014, in Brazil, the final stretched into the agony of extra time. Germany pushed, Argentina held. Then, a single strike shattered the dream. The ball hit the net, and the stadium erupted for the opponent. Messi stood on the pitch, staring at the golden trophy, just meters away. He did not move. He did not look up. The heartbreak repeated in subsequent tournaments, leaving a nation to question if their golden generation would ever find its peak. The silence grew heavy. The gap between expectation and reality widened until it felt like a canyon. Every missed pass and every blocked shot reinforced the doubt. The dream of the third star was not just fading, it was becoming a source of national grief. The squad refused to fold. They took the lessons of past defeats and turned them into a new, disciplined rhythm. In 2021, they broke the cycle by winning the Copa America. That victory acted as a vital spark, stitching a fractured team back together. The doubt that had lingered for decades began to evaporate, replaced by a singular shared focus. Every training session was a test of endurance. Every pass was executed with newfound intent. By the time the 2022 World Cup in Qatar appeared on the horizon, the team had transformed. Their confidence hardened like iron, tempered by the long road they had traveled. They moved through the qualification matches with clinical precision, dismantling obstacles that had once stalled their progress. The atmosphere in the locker room shifted from heavy expectation to quiet, lethal determination. They were no longer playing under the weight of history, they were rewriting it. The air thickened with the desperate hope of one final chance. Every player understood the stakes. As they landed in Qatar, the silence of the past was gone, replaced by the steady, rhythmic pulse of a team that had finally found its peak. The 2022 final in Qatar transformed the pitch into a war zone. France pressed. Argentina countered. The ball moved in a frantic blur of feet and desperation. One goal fell, then another. The score swung like a pendulum, dragging both teams into the grinding exhaustion of extra time. Defenses cracked under the relentless pressure, yet neither side conceded an inch of ground. Every sprint was a gamble, every tackle a collision of raw force. As the final whistle signaled the end of regulation and extra time, the stadium noise dropped to a jagged, breathless hum. The penalty shootout began. The distance between the spot and the goal narrowed to a singular point of focus. Players walked forward, faces set, boots striking the grass with rhythmic precision. Each kick was a heartbeat. Each save was a thunderclap. The tension tightened until the air felt solid. Finally, the last ball traveled through the air and snapped the back of the net. The cycle of the match shattered in that singular, violent impact. The war was over. The field fell into a momentary, stunned silence before the roar began to build from the stands. The stadium roar hit like a physical wave, drowning out the remaining tension. Players collapsed onto the turf, hands covering faces, while others sprinted toward the corner flag. The air was thick with smoke and sound. Messi stood near the center circle, his gaze fixed on the goal where the final ball had crossed the line. He walked forward, his stride steady, as the crowd rhythmically chanted a name that had echoed for decades. The podium was assembled in the center of the pitch, a metallic structure under the stadium floodlights. He climbed the steps, each movement deliberate and slow. When he reached the top, he stopped. The trophy waited, a heavy, intricate mass of gold. He reached out, his fingers wrapping around the cool metal surface. He pulled it toward him, feeling the weight of the years and the miles in his palms. He lifted it high. The night sky caught the gleam of the gold, a bright point in the darkness. Below, the sea of blue and white surged toward the pitch, a living tide of movement. The long wait concluded in that single, steady motion. The history of the past was no longer a burden but a foundation. The trophy remained held high, and the stadium light reflected in the eyes of a nation that had finally arrived at its destination.